As I drove down the familiar streets of my hometown, my heart swelled with mixed emotions. On one hand, it was a relief to be back after years of living in the bustling city. On the other, I was filled with anxiety at the thought of taking care of my grandmother, who'd grown old and frail. As I pulled up to her house, I took a deep breath and prepared myself for the challenges ahead. But as soon as I stepped out of the car, I was greeted by a familiar face. "Hey, I didn't know you were back in town," said a voice behind me. I turned around and there he was, my high school crush who had now grown into a handsome and successful author. "Hi," I said, trying to hide my excitement. "Yeah, I just moved back to take care of my grandmother." We exchanged pleasantries, and he offered to buy me a coffee at the local shop. As we sat down with our drinks, we caught up on old times, and he shared stories from his travels and book tours. As the night wore on, I realized how much I had missed this small town and the people in it, and I couldn't help but notice how natural it felt to be around him. Before I knew it, he was offering to give me a tour of the town and show me all the changes that had taken place since I left. As we strolled down the streets, I found myself admiring him more and more and feeling a sense of closeness that was hard to explain. As the evening came to a close, I knew that I had to see him again, and luckily he felt the same. We made plans to meet up the next night and explore some more. Over the next few days, we spent every moment together, exploring the town, talking about our dreams and aspirations, and laughing at old memories. It was as if time had never passed between us. But as much as I enjoyed being with him, I couldn't ignore the nagging feeling in my heart. I was falling for him, and I knew it was a risk I couldn't take lightly. It wasn't until he mentioned his upcoming book tour that I realized time was running out. He would be leaving soon, and if I didn't tell him how I felt, I might never get the chance. As we said our goodbyes, I took a deep breath and looked him in the eyes. I know we're heading in different directions, but I trailed off, my heart pounding in my chest. I can't ignore this feeling I have. I've always admired you, but now I think I might be in love with you. For a moment, he looked taken aback, but then his face softened into a smile. "I think I might feel the same way," he said, reaching out to take my hand. As we hugged, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I had taken the risk and it had paid off. We promised to stay in touch and see where this new journey would take us. Over the next few months, as he traveled across the country promoting his book, we kept in touch through calls and texts, and though it wasn't easy being apart, we knew that our love could withstand the distance. Eventually, he came back to town, and we picked up where we left off. This time, though, it was with the knowledge that we had each other's hearts. And as we looked out over the small town, hand in hand, I knew that I had made the right decision in confessing my love. Sometimes taking risks is the only way to get what you truly want, and though it may be scary, it's always worth it in the end.